Hi friends, in this video I will be solving a particular question that is based on the factor formula, that is the formula I derived using the addition identity. Now looking at this question, if you look at this question, how are you going to attempt it? That is, how are you going to approach it? What kind of identities are you going to use? That's the question. Then how do you think you can solve it? Looking at this, although the question is based on the factor formula, but if you are not careful enough, you won't be able to apply the identities. We're having two functions here. The first one is the cos, and the second one is the sine. The cosine, we have cosine 2 alpha plus cosine 5 alpha plus cosine 8 alpha divided by sine 2 alpha plus sine 5 alpha plus sine 8 alpha. Applying addition formula on these two questions, we are going to have it to be cos 5 alpha. The question is now saying that prove that everything here is equal to what? Cos 5 alpha. But you can recall from our factor formula that if we have cos A plus B, you have it to be what? To be if you have cos C plus cos D, you are going to have it to be what? To be 2 cos into bracket C plus D divided by 2 cos C minus D divided by 2. But if you look at this very well, these are cos. You can actually apply the identities on these two functions here. But if you look at this very well, 2 plus 5 is 7. Then 7 divided by 2 is actually 3.5. 2 minus 5 is 3. 3 divided by 2 is actually what? 1.5. And you must not get decimal. Then that means you can transform or rearrange these functions into another form. So that if you transform it, you have it to be what? To be cos 2 alpha, right? Then here you have it to be what? To be, that is plus cos 8 alpha, right? Plus cos 5 alpha. Then once the change is made to the numerator, you must do the same, apply the same to the denominator. You have sine 2 alpha, right? Plus what? Sine 5, 8. That will be 8 alpha plus sine 8 alpha. Then the next thing you need to do here is that, looking at this very well, before you apply the formula, you can actually rearrange this in a better form so that you have your cos 8 alpha to be here, which is, you have your what? Cos 8 alpha, right? Plus what? Plus cos 2 alpha, so that you avoid getting a negative answer. Because when you go ahead and apply the formula, 2 minus 8 is negative 6, which is going to give you a negative form of answer. So plus 2 cos 2 alpha plus what? Cos 5 alpha divided by what? Divided by sine 2 8 alpha plus what? Sine 2 alpha plus what? That's sine 5 alpha. Then you can actually recall that for what? You have cos C plus what? Cos D. It's also the same as actually what? 2 cos into bracket C plus D divided by 2 cos into bracket C minus D divided by what? 2. Then similarly, you recall for what? Sine. You are going to have sine C plus what? Plus sine, that's sine C plus sine D to be what? That is going to give you what? Give you something like sine, that's 2 sine, yeah, C plus D, because here you're having positive. Let's say it is negative, you are going to have it to be minus 4. C plus D divided by what? Divided by cos C minus D divided by 2. Can I see this down? So then you are going to say let your C equals what? 2, or let's say let your C equals to 8 alpha, because we've actually arranged it, and your D to be equals to what? To be equals to that 2 alpha. Then put them inside a parenthesis. You are going to apply identity on these two functions, both the one on top and also the one at downward. Then let's go ahead and apply. You are going to have, this is actually, what's my C now? You have 8 alpha here and you have 2 alpha here. Then go ahead and transform the question. You have it to be 2 cos into brackets your C. I'm going to apply identity on this only. This is my C and this is my D. My C is here and my D is here. Your C is what? Is your 8 alpha. You have 8, right? Alpha plus what? D is what? 2 alpha divided by what? 2. Can you see this down? First, you can neglect the alpha first because you don't have alpha here, but it doesn't mean anything. It's still the same thing. You have it 2 cos 8 plus this, alright? You have cos what? Cos into bracket again. 8 alpha minus what? What's your D? 2 alpha divided by what? 2. Then half plus what? Plus cos 5 alpha here. Then all divided by what? Divided by the same thing is applicable to this. Your C is this and your D is what? Is this. You have it to be what? To be sine, or let's 2 sine. C is what? That's 8 alpha plus what? 2 alpha divided by 2 cos what? Cos, open another bracket. What's your C? 8 alpha minus what? 2 alpha divided by 2, right? Plus what? Cos 5 alpha. Then this can be simplified to another form. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is what? That's 5. We have it to what? 2 cos 5 alpha, right? Then 8 minus 2, that's 6. This one will be what? Cos 3 alpha plus what? Plus cos 5 alpha. All divided by what? All divided by, here you'll be having 2 sine 5 alpha, right? Cos 3 alpha, then plus what? Cos 5 alpha. It's very simple. Then let's rewrite this out so that we simplify it and have a final answer. Looking at this, I'm having cos 5 alpha here. This can actually cancel this out. It will later cancel it out. Let's just try to, okay, look at this. Cos 5 alpha is there, cos 5 alpha is there. I can choose to factorize my cos 5 alpha out. If I should factorize my cos 5 alpha out, I have cos 5 alpha, right, into brackets, cos 3 alpha plus what? Plus 1. The reason why I cancel out these two is that I'll be having 2 here, which I'll later cancel this out. It's still the same thing. All divided by what? All divided by cos 5 alpha here, right? You have cos 5 alpha here. Cos, okay, this should be sine. Yeah, it is sine. Actually, it is sine here. You have it to be sine 5 alpha. Sorry, but this is sine. Because looking at this very well, this is it. We are only applying to both this and this. We are not applying this to this. It will be sine. Sorry, it is sine 5 alpha, right? So without being said, we have sine 5 alpha here. Then we can actually factorize it out. You have what? Sine 5 alpha into brackets. The same thing. Cos 3 alpha plus what? Plus 1. Can you see that this can be cancelled out? Then you have this to be equal to what? Cos 5 alpha divided by what? Sine 5 alpha. Then you can recall that whenever you have what? You have cos theta over what? Over sine theta. The expression is also written as writing what? Cot theta. Hence, therefore, this will be written as what? As cot 5 alpha, which is what? Proved. Proved. It's very simple. Now, I'll be solving another question that is based on this in the separate video. If you haven't watched my explanation based on the previous identity I've explained, kindly go and watch it now so as to understand this question better. Thanks for watching.